Hi, good morning, students. So today we will be under the OOC subject. We will be understanding the concept of method overriding, which is the next topic what you have after the using superclass. So method overriding. Riding means so a method you have come across the word method. So inside the class you will be having two objects. One is instance variables, the other one is methods. So method is nothing but a function which performs something. So here we are making use of so many classes with so many name methods. So when you have the inheritance concept, there will be so many classes. So for example, you consider it as a subclass and a superclass. So in a class hierarchy, when a method in a subclass has same name and type signature as method in a superclass, then the method in subclass is said to override the method in the superclass. This is the definition. So when you have two classes, one is superclass and one is subclass. But both the methods what you give in superclass and subclass, just when they have the same name and the return data type is same, then method in the subclass is overriding the method in the superclass. So that we will see in this particular concept. So first you call a class called class A. So class A is the superclass. So inside the superclass, first we have the instance variables I and j that are the data members, and may we call a constructor. The constructor is A. So as the method, this is the method. So inside the method, you have a method name that is same as class name. So when you have a method name the same as a class name, we call it as a constructor, which takes two parameters, int A and int B. This A and B are the values used to store it for I and j, that we give it as I is equal to A and j equals B. So next you are going for a, after giving the values, you are having a one member function that is show. So it is a member function. So here a is also a member function and show is also a member function, but a it is same as class name, we call it as constructor, and show it's not same as class name, hence we consider it as a member function or method. So what show, you are going to print the statement I and j. Okay, so this belongs to superclass. Okay, next you come for the subclass. So when you come for the subclass, so when you tell it is a subclass, when you have the word extends followed by another class name, at that now we have class B extends A. That time we take it as B is the subclass which inherits all the data members and member functions from class A. So now B will have how many variables? B will have I, J as well as its own K. So now we call a constructor B, which used for to take the values, how many values? Int A equals int A, int B and int C. So A is for how many data variables you have? You have three data variables. That is, one is K from B and I and j from A. So that's why we're taking it as A comma B comma C. So super of AB, when you give super of A comma B means super class, you are going to consider the I values. For I you are assigning, for A you are assigning it to I, and B you are assigning it to J, and for the next new variable of B, that is for K, you are assigning it to C. So next you take a function word show and you are printing only the contents of K. Okay. So now you come for the, that's a subclass, superclass, class B is a subclass. Now you come for the main function class, that we call it as a class override with a main function. Now we create an object sub OB. This sub OB is an object of subclass B. So with the output the object to sub OB is an object of class B. So which takes three parameters. So B will take how many parameters? Three parameters, A comma B comma C, that is 1 comma 2 comma 3. So now we are going to assign a value of A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, and sorry, A is given value 1, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to 3, and that is been assigned to the instance variables From a is equal to 1, it is been stored to I is equal to a. From b is equal to 2, it is stored in j is equal to b. And similarly, c is equal to 3, it is been stored in k is equal to 3. So now we are calling a function subob.show. So that means subob is an object which calls which show. You are having two show functions, one inside the superclass and the one inside the subclass. As you are calling subob.show. So in class A also you are having a show function, and class B also you are having a show function. So when the functions are same, function names are same, then the subclass function is overriding the superclass function. So at that time, when you call subob.show, it is going to execute only the contents of the subclass. So it is not going to execute the contents of the superclass, it is executing the contents of the subclass, that is show. Subob.show, as we have both show functions, this show function will override this show function. So at that time, only show function of this one will be executed, and finally you will be getting the output as k is equal to 3, but you will not get the values of I and j, because the show function which is same as show function in the superclass will get overridden. So which is the overridden function here? So and who overrides? So subclass b dot show will override the superclass function a dot show. So this is the concept. So suppose if you want to print the superclass version, so what should be done? So if you Andre in concept Andre, if you are going to have only for you are executing the sub ob.show. Suppose you want to execute this show function of the class A. Suppose you want to execute this show function of class A without overriding. So what should be done? That will be done here. That means if you wish to access the superclass version of a overridden method, overridden ಆಗಿರೋದು ಯಾವುದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಏನಲ್ಲಿರೋ show function is overridden. ಅದನ್ನ access ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ you can do so by using super. If you want to wish to access a superclass version of overridden, you can do so by using super. Okay, so that is the what change you should do. I will tell you. Go for the superclass, it remains same, no change in that. When you come for the subclass, you have a, that is subclass extends A, have an instance variable K, and call a constructor B. So again I am telling you, we are calling the constructor this B as a constructor because it is also a method where the function, this method name and class name are same. At that time we consider it as constructor. ಸೊ ಡೇಟಾ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ನ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನೇಮ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೇಮ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಏನಂತೀವಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್. Keep in your mind, initializing the instance variables, you are creating a constructor. So here you take a b int a, int b, int c, super of a comma b. So when you give super of a comma b, so now and then you assign c is equal to k. Now you are assigning a value c to the instance variable k. The k belongs to class subclass B, whereas when you give super of A comma B, so A is initialized to superclass variable I and B is initialized to superclass variable J. So now we call a show function. So inside the show function, suppose you want to call a superclass function. So suppose you want to call a superclass function, now you give the syntax as super.show. Keep in your mind, here you have only taken case in super of AB. Inside the show, you have not given any super.show. That's why it is showing you only the contents of K. Suppose you want the contents of A, I and J as well. At that time, I and J values are given by A and B. At that, in order to get the contents of overridden object, you take it as super.show. So this calls a shows. Now we are going to have a print of k. When you execute this particular program, so it will show you ing as 1 and 2 and k is equal to 3. So here super.show calls a superclass version of show. So super.show will calls a superclass version. So which is a superclass version? It is a class A. So class A in a Lira show function will be executed. Okay. So now you come for so another important issue. Suppose the class names are same but parameters are different. Return type of the parameter is different. So what will be the case? So method, understand this statement. Method overriding occurs only when name and type of the two methods are identical. Name and type signatures of two methods are identical, then the overriding will occur. If there are not, then two methods are simply overloaded. If there are not, then the two methods are simply overloaded. Okay, so understand the word. It is simply overloaded. Overloaded LEOTV. It is in overloaded functions. Add of int a comma int b, add of float a comma float b, and so the program ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಲ್ವಾ ಅದ್ರ you have understood this particular thing. If the two methods is taking the variables of different types, that is parameters of different types, then we call it as methods are simply overloaded. For example, consider this modified version of the previous example. So here first you take the superclass, next subclass. So superclass is a, which are instance variables I and j, and take a constructor a of int I a comma int b, assign the values I is equal to a and j is equal to b, and then you display the contents using show function I and j. It remains same, no change. But but you come for the class b. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, when you have same class name but different input parameters, you are not going for overloading. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ ಎ ಇಂಟ್ ಬಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ ಬಿ ಅವ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಬಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನೇಮ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್? So you can't this is a function name but it is same as class name, so you are not supposed to take it as function. It is called a constructor. So which is the another function? It is show. Inside show you are not having anything, no parameters, so it's a default show function. So now you come for the class b. It is a subclass which extends a with the instance variables k. So now b will have how many variables? It will have I, j, k. So you have to give the values a, b, and c. So similarly, you take b, int a, int b, int c. So int a, b from superclass a, and int c is for subclass variable. So inside that you give super of a comma b. So when you give super of a comma b, value of this two, this to I is equal to a, j equals b will come and sit here. That is super of a comma b. So next similarly, this c is for taken for variable k. So we take it as k is equal to c. Now we call if another show function. So inside this show, you are taking it as string message. So here there is no parameter is passed to the function. Simply you'll be taking it as show with a default function. So but here you are having a show with a different type, that is string of message. So understand this, both are having the same function name, but here no parameters, but here you are having different parameter, that is string. So inside that you will take it as message plus k. Okay, so now we show this when you have these two, simply there are overloaded. So understanding this concept, right? Same function name but parameters are different. At that time here no parameters, so here you are giving a parameter of type string. So you are simply printing the statement message plus k. Now you come for the main function, you take it as a class name as override. Inside that you give main function. So here take subob. Subob is an object of class b. Subob is an object of class b is equal to how many b? when you create an object of class B, how many values it should take? It should take three values, one for A, one for B, one for C. That we are giving it as new B of 1, 2, 3. So now I will call both the functions show. So suborbit.show, this is K, and suborbit.show. So subob is an object which calls show. This is K. So this is this is a string. So this suborbit.show will come for show of string message, whereas suborbit.show only show will go for this superclass show function. So now the sub object is going for both the this overloaded function show as well as this overloaded function show. So when you run this program, first you will get this is K, that is value 3. When you give suborbit.show, you will be getting the values 1 and 2. So hope you are understanding. When you have a method overriding, so function name and function name and return type of the parameters should be same. If they are different, so what will be the case? The method will be overloaded. So this is the program. Okay. So this completes method overriding. And next you come for the next last topic, dynamic method dispatch. Okay. So this is a very rare case you'll be having this particular concept. So so you take it as dynamic method dispatch. So why it is required, when it is required, I will tell you. So first understand this particular terms. Dynamic method dispatch is a mechanism by which a call to overridden method is resolved at runtime rather than compile time. Overridden Agira method then call to overridden method, which is the overridden. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಯಾವುದು ಓವರ್ ರೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಶೋ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ವೇಸು ವಿಲ್ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡ್ superclass show function. So which is overridden? Superclass show function will be overridden. So if you call that overridden function, so what will be done? That is the concept. So for that I will be calling illustrate this with this particular example by assigning a reference variable. So take one class A, and call a insert that no instance variable, no constructor. Directly you are calling a call me, and you will be printing the statement inside is call method. Similarly, now you take class B, which is a subclass which extends superclass A, and again you will be having a call me. Both are call me only. So here superclass A's call me method is overridden by B's call me method, which print the statement inside B's call method. So similarly, C will extend A. So now the class C will have a call me function which overrides again the class A's call me method. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಓವರ್ರೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ B's call method will override A's call method. And similarly, as you give class C extends A. So C is a subclass of which superclass? A superclass, not B. It is A. So it here again you call me. So this call me will again override A's call me. Okay. So ಇವಾಗ overridden ಆಗಿರೋದು ಯಾವುದು? ಏನಲ್ಲಿರೋ call me ಅನ್ನೋ function is overridden by both B's call me method as well as C's call me method. Now if I want to call A's call me method, this is overridden. So in order to call this A's call me method, what should be done? That is the concept of dynamic method dispatch. So here B's call me method and C's call me are overriding A's call me method because you are having a extend, it is going to extend both the superclass A. Now you call a dispatch. So create an object for each and every class. So A is an object of class A, B is an object of class B, and C is an object of class C. So suppose if you want to call any overridden methods. So which is the overridden method? call me of A is a overridden method, which is overridden by B call me and C's call me method. So at that time, you create a reference object for an overridden method. So which is a overridden object. Overridden class is A. For that, you create a reference variable R. Okay. So now you assign a reference variable R is equal to A and call R dot call me. Now this R is a reference variable for the overridden class A. So when you give R is equal to A is what? A is an object of class A. So class A is overridden. So now when you give R is equal to A, so A is being referred to R. A is an object that is being referred by R. So now R will call A's function, that is R dot call me. That means calls A's version of call me. So ಇದು ಓವರ್ರೈಡ್ ಆಗೈತೆ ಆ ಓವರ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ನ ನೀವು ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ A dot call me, so it is similar only. So but in order to get executed all these objects methods, now we are going to have a reference variable. So reference variable will act for a overridden class. ಸೊ ಓವರ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದು ಈ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಓವರ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಓವರ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಓವರ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಬೈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿ as well as class C. So now we assign a reference variable R is equal to A and R dot call me. Similarly, you can have R is equal to B and R dot call me, and R is equal to C and R dot call me. So when you have this, both the overridden and overriding methods will be executed. When you see the output, when you give R dot call me, R is a reference variable which is acting for A. So A will go for which class? It will go for a capital A class and it will print this particular. However, if this method is overridden also, this can be accessed by the reference variable. That is the concept of dynamic method dispatch. So rather than as it is overridden, it cannot be executed, but we can execute the method of the overridden class by using a reference variable AR. So and by assigning the values R is equal to A, R dot call me, R is equal to B, R dot call me, R is equal to C. When you each function you are calling a function, so you'll be getting the output is call me, B is call me, and C is call me method. So that is the concept. So creates one superclass called A and two subclasses B and C. Subclass B and C override ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Subclass B and C override call me method declared in A. Inside the main, the objects of A, B, C are declared. Also a reference to of type A called R is declared. The program then in turn assigns a reference to each type of object to R and use that reference to invoke call me. The version of call me is executed by determined by the type of the object. So you would see three calls to yes call me method. So yes calls me method ಗೆ three types you are going to refer. Okay, so that completes the dynamic method dispatch. So I will be ending this class today, and this will be the completion of the chapter 8, that is inheritance basics. So go through the programs carefully and understand the concept, so that if they ask any different programs in your exams or internals or assignments, so you should be in a thorough level to understand and write your own programs. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. So I'll be ending this class. Thank you one and all.